Buckle up and strap in. I got another hard-hitting pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows and sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. And friends, we got a good one to unpackage today, and I got some help. Welcome Steve and Travis into the show. Gentlemen, how are you doing today?
What is up, Scott? Appreciate you having us on, man.
See you, Steve.
Absolutely fire intro, bro. I was getting goosebumps, man. I don't, it's called synergy. Call it what you want, but I felt that intro. I felt it.
Nice, dude. Well, then I did my job. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being part of the show. I know our audience, we're going to entertain some people. We're going to inform some people and hopefully educate them just a little bit, because we're going to give everybody here today something they're not going to get from mainstream media as we get forward thinking, critical thinking, centered and surrounded with like-minded people where iron will sharpen iron. Friends, it's an honor and privilege. Steve, introduce your channel to our viewers, please.
What's happening, everybody? My name's Steve Daria. That is the channel right there. It's my full name, and we talk everything real estate, just like these fellas here. Just not as entertaining as Scott Walters, because he is the most entertaining dude on YouTube.
Thanks, Steve. Steve, where are you located? Tell the audience.
I'm in Southwest Florida, where we just got nailed by Hurricane Ian, so I've been basically rebuilding. Finally got a couple vehicles up and running again, so it's been tough, but we're located in Southwest Florida here.
Well, that's awesome. We're so glad you're safe and putting your life back together. Everybody go check out his channel, and he showed a lot about what happened in Florida with the hurricane and how it affected him firsthand. So Steve, thank you so much for sharing that with the audience. Now, Travis, from the Real Estate Mindset, would you do us the honor and privilege of introducing yourself, your channel, and where you're located, my friend?
Yes, sir. So my name is Travis Spencer. The name of my YouTube channel is Real Estate Mindset. I am located in the great state of Texas, #1 state of new construction and #1 state of investors. So, dude, I get to see like the live data in my face before like anyone's singing, and people are like, Travis, it's not crashing. I'm like, I have every indicator right now. Not to mention Austin. Anyone hear of it? Ever hear of Austin? Oh my gosh, man. I mean, so anyways, that's what I'm about. I'm about helping new, potential first-time home buyers, really just educating on people on the difference in interest rate, prices, and also like, sounding the alarm on like, don't buy right now because it could lead to financial destruction, right? Like what happened to me in 2008. So I rant, man. I am so sorry. I was ranting just then. But,
no, I appreciate it. No, and as many of you know, as Scott Walters here reporting from California. So we've got Florida, Texas, and California. We're all covered this whole nation, right? And so what I love about what we do here, friends, and for our viewers today, we all bring something different. We're all unique in our own way. And I know a lot of the viewers here are already familiar with your channels. A lot of people will be new, and they're going to come check you guys out. So congratulations on being forward-thinking, critical thinking, as we stay centered and surrounded with like-minded people and get ahead of what's unfolding right now in the biggest housing bubble ever produced, artificially minded, in world history. That should have people's attention. Unfortunately, many people are completely naive to what's unfolding. So we've been very lucky in the sense that we at least came on very early and started warning people, right? That, hey, listen, this is a housing bubble. And now it's no longer, because early on, friends, we would report this is a housing bubble. No, this time is different. And this time, no. It was a complete, it was completely just this euphoria and casino climate due to stimulus. So we're at the tail end of a health crisis, a lockdown, the front end of a recession. And one of the things we talk about, you guys, Steve and Travis, is that once mainstream media gets a hold of something, it's the nail in the coffin of whatever's going on. And so now we're talking recession, we're talking housing crash. It's playing out, whether we like it or not, whether it could have survived it or not. Mainstream media will move these markets. And their latest question, friends, is, and we're all seeing this, it's the million-dollar question, will this be as bad as 2008, the great financial crisis? Well, friends, for me personally, bigger bubble than 2008 might provide bigger blowback. So I pulled this question on my channel, you guys. And I haven't revealed the results to you yet. So this is going to be really good. So, buckle up and strap in. I'm going to ask each one of you today. And I asked this, like I said, I pulled this. And I'm going to reveal those results. Will this be as bad as 2008? I'm sorry, let me rephrase. Will this be not as bad as 2008, as bad as 2008, or worse than 2008? That is our question today. That is our topic today. Mainstream media has already got a lot of people reporting if this will be as bad as 2008 or not. So we're gonna get centered and surrounded in front of this thing so we can make sense of it. So with that being said, first up to bat today, my friends, we're going to bring on Steve, if that's all right with you. Steve, is this crash, this potential downturn that we're up against, it's playing out, Steve, is it not as bad as 2008, as bad as 2008, or worse than 2008? What do you got for us, my friend?
Well, first off, again, thank you very much for having me on. It is an honor, and I appreciate all that you guys are doing on YouTube. I do want to say, living through 2008 as a real estate broker, investor, for one thing, I'm hopeful it doesn't happen because of how many people I've seen get hurt through that time. And, you know, we listed hundreds and hundreds of short sales and helped so many people avoid foreclosure. And it's, you know, people hear short sale, whatever, people hear foreclosure, but people are losing their homes, and they're to them, that's everything. You know, they're losing their livelihood and everything else. Unfortunately, what happened over the last couple of years due to the pandemic and artificially low interest rates and stimulus and everything else, I think it has the potential to be comparable. I don't know if it's going to be worse. There's certain caveats as well that are unknown. So we don't know how bad the recession is going to be. That's going to push unemployment. I know right now, even if you do Google search in terms of, you know, the unemployment in, you know, job losses you're going to see a lot of companies out there that are just starting layoffs. And I know Scott said it many times in videos and on his YouTube channel that this is, you know, the first inning. And I think we are just at the beginning of true hardship. So how bad is the recession going to be? I don't know. But one thing I do know, if you're unemployed and you need that check from your employer, whether it's a dual income or whatever, and you don't have that check coming in, you're not going to be able to modify that loan. And you potentially could default. So if you default, then it's going to lead into a short sale or foreclosure situation. Another caveat I would say are the institutional investors. If we see them start to say, you know what, we're peaked out, we bought here at a certain level and values are here, and we can cash out for hundreds of millions or billions or whatever it is, and we can get out of this sector and move that money into something else that's less risky, then that could flood the market and make things exponentially worse. I don't know. If you have to sell due to death, divorce, relocation, all the negative things, you know, job transfer, and you have to sell your property and you're upside down, you're going to be in a bad position, because then you have to, you know, figure out renting the property, or maybe you're already delinquent because of a certain poor situation that you're in. Then you could potentially be upside down, and then you have to cut a check at closing, and a lot of people just can't do that. So if you're upside down on your mortgage, and I know people right now that bought literally 6 months ago that are trying to sell, and they put 3.5% down FHA loan, they cannot sell their home. I've spoken to these people here on a local level. They can't. They're screwed. They cannot sell that property, and they don't have the funds to cut a check at closing, because you have closing costs as well. You know, if you list with a real estate agent, you have commissions, you have doc stamps, you have title insurance, you have fees that add up tremendously. Even if you owe what's on your mortgage and what you sell the property at, you're still upside down based on closing costs. So I think there's a lot of caveats associated with answering that question. It's a hell of a question. I would just say, I don't know. I'm hopeful that it's not going to be like 2008, but I think it potentially could be.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for weighing in and doing your best to unpackage that. Like I said, it was, you guys, just so everybody watching today, they had no idea what I was going to ask them. I put them square on the spot. I mean, This was a tough one to unpackage, and I know it's hard to put your neck out there. But you did a great job, Steve, unpackaging that and weighing in on it. So thank you so much. Travis from the Real Estate Mindset, buckle up and strap in, my friend, because you're about to go in the hot seat. This is the $1 million question, Travis. Is this next real estate downturn going to be not as bad as 2008, as bad as 2008, or worse than 2008? People want to know, Travis. They're looking to make sense of this thing. What do you got for us?
Well, I mean, there's already, here's the thing, Scott, there's things that we do know right now, and there's things that we don't know. For example, one of the things that we don't know right now is who, that is watching us will vote on who has the best beard. Now, I would like to think it's myself, but look at my competition. And then there are things that we know, like we all know the media is crazy and does not have our best interest. What else do we know? What else do we know right now that's worse than 2008? Quantitative tightening. We already know that's worse right now. Quantitative tightening, unaffordability. We already know things are more unaffordable now than the Great Recession, more unaffordable comparing to 1980s. So quantitative tightening is already worse. Unaffordability already worse. Inflation, that's worse. We don't have to guess. We know these things are worse, right? Want to know what else is worse? The bubble the world is in. Back in 2008, the world, I'll argue, had a little bit of ability to absorb the pain with us. Right now, they don't have that ability. Not only that, we don't have the ability to do quantitative easing. So the real question is prices, right? Do I think prices will be worse as far as a negative decline than in 2008? And I'll make this clear. I absolutely do think that home prices will be worse than 2008. And for me, I think these are obvious reasons, but we had the same amount of equity increase almost than we did the last recession that took 4.5 years. And it was all of this artificial, I almost said insemination. I got in trouble, artificial stimulation. Brother, I mean, like, how could you? I mean, I think it's going to be faster as well. It's going to be a flash crash, like you said. 2008 price crash, not going to be as, 2008 was a horrible price crash, but I think that this time around we're going to have the price crash that's worse. But I think households will be in better shape when compared to households in the past, right? So things that I don't think will be worse is foreclosures. I do not think we're going to have a foreclosure wave like we did in 2008, just because the lenders have become experts at, essentially keeping people in their houses through loan modification is one of them, through short sell. Now, obviously, there's an ability for them to get inundated, right? But these are the things that I think are going to happen, Scott. I think that tightening needs to continue, but I don't think it's going to. I think that the Federal Reserve is going to crumble like always. I think they're going to flip-flop like always. I don't think they're going to make it past Q2 of 2023. I think that's when the pivot is going to happen. I think that's when the recession is going to happen. And quite frankly, I think 2023 is going to be one of the darkest years in housing market history.
Man, Travis, I'm scared already, man. Jeez, God, go easy on us over here, Travis. My Lord, I'm going to sell everything. So buckle up and strap in. Gentlemen, thank you so much for doing your best to answer a very polarizing question right now. The 2008 financial crisis and housing crash was massive. Let's make no mistake about that. We can pull from the past to get ahead of a lot of what's going to play out in the next housing bubble. We've always had booms and busts in the housing market. We just went through a really big boom. We've identified the top of the biggest bubble ever produced in world history artificially. So the chances of it sustaining itself are little to none. We now are seeing it trend the other direction. And like you said, I believe we're headed for a flash crash. Throw the playbook out the window on this one. We've never seen anything like this in 100 years. So the realities are, friends, buckle up and strap in. Over 60% of people, when polled on this question, said this one is going to be worse than 2008. The majority of people think this one is going to be worse. It makes perfect sense. Bigger bubble, bigger blowback. So the realities are this, friends. Here's the scary part about this. Contagion, herd mentality. If 60% of people think it's going to be worse, guess what? It's going to be worse, whether we want it to or not. Whether there's fundamentals that say it won't, it doesn't matter. The people decide how this one plays out. And people's emotions will start to move these markets. And right now they're saying it's going to be worse. So my advice to everybody watching today, expect the unexpected, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. That way you somehow come out in the middle. It's better to be prepared for something and have it not happen than have something happen and not be prepared. I want to thank Steve and Travis for coming on today. Iron sharpens iron, staying centered or surrounded with like-minded people. We're doing our best to continue to ring the bell, sound the alarm, read between the lines, and look between the cracks so you guys can be saved. We're trying to save American financial lives right now. Insulate yourself the best of your ability. It is so important right now to be a lean, mean, fighting machine. Very few people will be going into these financial markets. Everybody's going to be exiting it. We're going to try to take as many of you guys with us as we go back into these markets when everybody's leaving, because that's when the people are going to get rich buying outside the bubble. Would you like to thank our viewers today, Steve, before we go to Travis?
Yeah, hey, first off, Scott, thank you very much for having me on. It's an honor. And I appreciate both of you guys. You guys are superstars in the real estate sector on YouTube. And it's important that we're playing this role because, unfortunately, too many people rely on mainstream media for their intel. And we see it time and time again, how it's manipulated. And unfortunately, a lot of people follow that advice and they're going to face hardship. So thank you for what you do, man.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you so very, very much. I look forward to having you on again. Travis, what do you got for us, my friend?
Just to go off of what Steve was saying, I mean, yeah, people are absolutely being manipulated. And I think really if we kind of pinpoint the issue is, everyone wants to stay, like everyone wants to stay overly optimistic. And one thing I want the viewers to understand is when it comes to purchasing the largest transaction of your life, you need to treat it as such, right? So, in other words, guys, what I'm saying is right now, empower yourself. Don't get lazy, stay proactive, right? And what are the three? There's usually just three things that everyone needs to work on to be a well-leveraged buyer in this market. You got to stay ahead of unaffordability. So how you do that? Get out of consumer debt, right? Save as much cash as you can and make as much money as possible. And the thing is, you guys, I have 4 children and 2 jobs. My main job is a W-2 job, right? We can do it, and I understand not everyone, has the ability to work harder and to make more money. But I believe that there is an overwhelming amount of people that, sadly they're lazy. And I hate to say that, but I don't think it's our viewers. I think our viewers are viewers that are special. I think these, the people that watch YouTube videos are to educate themselves. So I think it's a different caliber of people that we're talking to. But to the viewers, don't fall into that herd mentality and don't buy into these people manipulating you, trying to get you to be overly optimistic and emotional about such a big purchase. So, stay attached to our channels, like and subscribe all of our channels. And, obviously, Scott, from the bottom of my heart, man, you're a huge inspiration to me, as is Steve. But, obviously you and you're the first person who ever reached out to me, so I definitely appreciate that, Scott. And that's all I would have to say, brother.
Well, thank you so much. I love both you guys, and I love each and every person watching today. Please, before you go, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. We would all absolutely love to hear from you. As always, thank you for watching. Please go make it count today. We'll see you on the next video.